What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of I Do It Myself. If you like what it is that we do over here, hit that sub button, run up them likes, and hit the hype. Welcome back to another one of these. Who wants to be the motherfucking adult in the room? Now, y'all done said a million times, no women, no children. But the women is starting to bring up the children. The Cardi B and Nicki saga continues, and it continues with tweets. They have both reached a point of no return. I don't believe that there's any room in the future, any room for now of any sort of reconciliation. They will never be cool. This feud will go to the end of time. This is just as bad as 50 and Ja Rule, even though they had no physical altercations with one another, but they've been inciting them. And both of them been doing it on their own accord. Now, there's a lot to be said. It's a lot of tweets. I'm going to read through them. Bear with me, you know what I'm saying, because it is a lot of shit. But let's just start with this. Cardi B says, girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter dedicating essays to me? For the love of God, go to Chuck E. Cheese. Now, like I said, people always speak on no women, no children. They talk about it in the streets. They talk about it on social media. There is no low that people won't hit in order to insult one another. And both of them are guilty of this because while they are talking shit about one another, we are talking about innocent children that have nothing to do with their parents' actions or antics. Innocent children. Insults. The only way that these women can that they can get any points on one another now is by insulting one another's children. This shit is sad, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. Cardi also says, when have I ever had a seizure? You the one that went on that award show saying you ain't want to call 911 after you was shaking from that drug overdose. Talking about a knot. Miss, I'm standing right here. She goes on to say, and let me tell you something. Let this be the last time you mention my kids before I spill the tea on yours while you talking about ABCs, you gonna leave me the F alone. Today, ho, I'm sick of you, bitch. It goes on. She says, trying to call me out to fight because I'm pregnant as fuck. You never have that energy when I see you in person. I seen you at 2 Met Galas and you never have that energy. But where the F you at? My niggas is outside. Now, where the fuck y'all at? Now, what? Yo, let's call it a stack, man. While people say, oh, that's women business, don't get it. No, we are all adults. We are all adults witnessing fuckery, you know what I'm saying? Witnessing debauchery, witnessing all types of unsportsman woman-like conduct. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bugging the fuck out. They're both from New York. Queens, Southside, it's a difference between Queens and Southside Jamaica, Queens. If you're from New York, you know that. Cardi's from the Bronx. Nicki's from Southside Jamaica, Queens. Neither one of them are backing down. And this just goes to show you, all y'all people that be at y'all, and this is no diss to anybody, but you know how, because I done been in my cubicle. You know how many people done been at their cubicles or been loading stuff off the truck, and they said, man, if I was rich, I wouldn't argue with nobody. If I was rich, I'd just be so happy. Both of them are extremely rich. Like, rich beyond measure. Rich in a sense of, like, people could live 20 lifetimes and never touch what they make in a year. And this is how they conduct themselves. It says, bitch, you wish you could call my daughter ugly. Culture is beautiful and you know that. Your hate is so deep, dark, and nasty because your son nonverbal, because you effed him up with them drugs. So you jealous of everybody's kids and their happiness. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Bitch, where the F you at? Stop talking. I'm going to keep it 100. There was a point in time within the realms of hip hop and entertainment, and we get so much flack for being old and complaining about our time and how we only talk about this golden time and these golden years. I didn't know nothing about my favorite artist's children unless they spoke about the kid. We didn't know what the kids looked like most of the times. We didn't know what the kids sounded like, who their mothers were, who their fathers were. Like, we didn't know none of that stuff because it wasn't our business. We were on, as consumers, we was on a need to know basis, and the need to know only came within the music. Now, if it was spoken about in the music, then it was open. It was an open arms for people to talk about. But also, there wasn't so many talking heads about shit like this back in the day. I don't know nothing about either one of their sons or daughters' health wise, but I think that this is just nasty being played out on both of their parts. Drop the addy right now, and don't go tagging the feds and the police like you did 3 months ago, you pussy ass bitch. Then she says, Papa Bear, I'm sorry you can't speak and banging spoons because your mom couldn't put the drugs down. I'm sorry your mom not even paying attention to you on your own birthday because she obsessed and dark spirited, hating hoe. I'm so sorry. So Papa Bear is the, Nicki's son's nickname. Again, these are things that the average person shouldn't even know. But in this society, we feel so compelled to share. We always want to let people know what we're doing. We always want to show people our kids in there every moment. And listen, you love your kids, that's cool. But certain things got to be held sacred to you for certain reasons. And these are not the average artists that's just going back and forth. They too high profile artists. My thing is that from a management standpoint, nobody can control either one of them. You know what I mean? From a management standpoint, I always look at stuff like this. Like, man, don't use social media as a vessel to mess up the bread. For me, I'm looking at it like, all right, I don't want to mess up what we have going on or potentially what we're building because you want to argue with somebody in front of people on social media. For either one of them, it's not just distinctive to Cardi, it's not just distinctive to Nicki. I'm pretty sure both of them have shit in their pipeline of work that's about to happen soon where they're gonna be making millions of dollars. They don't do nothing for no thousands. They millions. We talking about they making generational wealth or building generational wealth through the things that they do. But saying the wrong things or acting a certain way can stop a lot of that shit, right? She also goes on to say, bitch, you be having cum stains in your mouth since you was a minor. She says something about her father. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that because I don't want to get demonetized. Tell the world that's why you wake up effing miserable. You hurt and full of trauma and trying to apply it to everybody else. And why the F you keep bringing up Rock Nation? I'm not signed to them. Delusional, paranoid, coke sniffing bitch. Yo, this goes on for a minute. She says, you said F vulture. Oh, she must have been talking about culture. She says, F that slow ass son that came out of your, like, it's mad vulgar. You was wishing so much negativity on me while I was pregnant, and look at your karma. Look at your rotten, oh man. Now he's a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house because he can't spell his name. Now, listen. I ain't gonna lie. Like, even, I'm talking about this because my whole thing with my platform, we do over here, or I do it myself. I hope that the brothers and sisters that do watch this channel, y'all are sensible people that understand sensible things, and we not really with none of this shit. But the reason why I speak about it is because there has to be some sort of situational awareness, right? And when artists do things like this, it can affect how other people think, right? Like, people hold themselves or model themselves after artists, right? Like, Cardi B has her group of what are they called? The Barty gang or something like that. And then Nicki has the Barbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have two fan bases that constantly are toxic and go against one another. And with everything that's being said, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, 99.9% will not get into no sort of physical altercation with one another. The situations like this, who it harms is the people around. Like, of course, she always talking about her husband, right? Of course her husband is going to go out to defend her. At one point in time when Offset, was with Cardi and they was together and they was having a back and forth, these is women that's getting into what they getting into, but now it could get dangerous because you got pride mixed in with ego. You know what I mean? Pride mixed in with ego, and you got men running around through the streets looking for one another on account of what their lady said. Now, there's a conversation that needs to be had, and specifically towards the ladies, right? Like, a lot of men have ended up in bad situations because a woman called them because of a situation that they were having. Might have been a fight with another girl. They about to get jumped or something. I've seen it a million times. People lose their life and go to prison on account of what they'll do for their sisters, their daughters, whomever. You know what I mean? People want to protect the people that they love. But when they're having these conversations and they're going to this extent, what they're not realizing is that the people that are around you that may not see too much for themselves or ready to crash out at any given moment are willing, or more than willing, to put their freedom on the line or their lives on the line for your ego, for your respect, for your conditioning, or however you feel when you in the crib and you dealing with these trolls. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's also an ego thing to not turn your social media over to your team so that you don't have these moments, and let the crowd roar and say whatever they want to say. But people care too much about the internet. Now, Cardi goes in, and this is about, you know, the albums. You know what I mean? She says, you want to talk about $4.99 because she called her $4.99 because how much she was selling her albums for. I mean, listen, man, price points is created based on the metrics of what they invest in and what they selling. I'm never looking at nobody bad for their price points. You know what I'm saying? Like, your product is your product. You either going to sell it or you not. If you got a $500 t-shirt and that's what you believe in, you got to go find the people that believe in your $500 t-shirt. It says, but you want to talk about $4.99. You sold both your albums for $5, you dumb hoe. You was even selling poster and keychain bundles for your Queen album, you effing dummy. And you know I never been a bitch to cop please. That was your friend Nicki hitting up Tubby to go on a fucking joint tour after he got out of jail. I ain't never got on a phone call with none of y'all asses, bitch, you wish. And now look, you be talking about Rock Nation, you ungrateful bitch, when they let you offer 3 months of title just so they could buy your album. Then she goes on to say, but stop all this talking. Where you at? You said you was gonna cave my sister Cheston. We was checking our DMs. Ain't seen it yet. Everybody up and waiting. Drop the addy right now. All right. We've gotten Cardi out the way. We've gotten Cardi out the way. And like I said, man, I do this for sensible people. I do this because while there might be a little humor in a lot of this, not a lot. It might be a little humor. It's humor in the rap shit, the back and forths, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, you know what I mean? Like them going back and forth and all that. It's humor, entertainment, and that. But this shit not funny when y'all start talking about kids because, you know, it's other parties mixed in. And your decisions that you make, the decisions that you make is going to harm the person next to you. Straight up. May said it before. Run with grimy niggas and die for shit your man done. It happens all the time. Ain't no telling what can happen when ego is involved and the streets start getting involved because they start talking a lot of street shit. So here's Nicki. She says, she's so stupid. Find me, bitch. Remember y'all called the cops on us last time? Made them tell us we had to leave NY because your man was afraid for y'all lives. Nah, ho, drop the receipts, Barney B. You'll be eating out of garbage cans of the Bronx in Jesus' name soon. Oh, boy. Then she goes on to say, Barney B had the whole label fly out to Cali to beg me to do a joint album. This is what Cardi was talking about before. With her, I don't want to have to drop that recorded call. That's why all the sabotage on my tour. Drop the receipts. You cost in the millions with your $4 album and $5 coupon. Then it's a page that says Cardi can't keep trying to play into the fact that it's Papa Bear's birthday because when it was Culture's birthday, she was literally arguing on the Shade Room and on Spaces. You do the same thing. It's not a drag. Nicki responds, F the Vulture B-Day. Listen, this is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. Like I said before, No Women, No Children is a line in a movie that was written. That shit ain't never been real. If you go through every decade, women and children have been harmed at the behest of the person who had a problem with somebody else. Didn't matter who got caught in the crossfire. See, the crossfires used to be in the streets. Doesn't make them even better. That doesn't mean it's good about what it used to be because people from always want to talk about back in the days and talk about how it was so real and all that. It was bullshit then. It's bullshit now. But the crossfires is online. Oh, boy. All right. Nicki says, where the road spray? I'm going to spray it in that disease-riddled mouth. Bunch of different stains on her new roach for entertainment purposes only. She drops this date 3/27/26. Lucian Elliott, Rico Nation. I promise you. Tell that dizzy hoe to stand down. I promise you. Barney Dangerous, Bodega Barney, what up? Your sister can get that chest caved in if you pregnant with another monkey or roach right now. She puts is just for entertainment purposes only, which we all know it's not. That doesn't mean anything. She says, culture, you a roach and a monkey like your sister. And this is, I'm telling y'all, man, like for adults to be talking about people, children like this, and you can argue on who started it first. I don't think it matters at this point. They're both in the pig pen. They both slinging mud. They both talking greasy to one another. There's other people involved. There's other people involved. You know what I'm saying? She says, Cokie B, please don't sniff coke with baby number 4. Word to Carlos. She says, culture a vulture and her mama a crow. So stupid to not see once Wendy ate that crow what happened. They played you to do that hex to yourself. You flop heavy tongue hoe. Okay. Then Flakko jumps in. Flakko says Cardi B is a liar. She leaked that audio dissing Lotto and attacking Ice Spice. Atlantic Records is only able to claim the audio as copyright protected content if they were the originators of the audio and in possession of the original audio. They have a huge, and it says show more. I'm just reading this off a retweet before I go to what Nicki responded with. That audio of that call with her talking about Ice Spice is copyrighted by Atlantic Records. When I went to put it up, you know what I mean, in the episode yesterday, that's why the clip was so short. It got hit with a copyright from, it says Warner Music, Atlantic Records. He's not lying about that. I don't know why Atlantic would claim the audio if they weren't owners of the audio, which is, it's just too much going on, right? Nicki retweets that and says, leaked it once Barney B started trending allegedly. Papa first a party over. He got 4 more to go. Let's go, ho. Drop the receipts. Rico Nation. Desiree, you sent Jigga Man broke, huh? Get this bitch before I get in on y'all families as well. Tonight happens to be the fucking night. And she writes night like a knight in armor or some shit like that, right? And then she says, album flop. She says her box flop. Never want to fight. Outrank you in your own gang. Shut the fuck up before come fight. Sympathy baby couldn't pull 228K abort mission. Let me tell y'all something. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj is going to be the first females to earn a fucking RICO. Like, they're going to earn it. They're going to earn it because what y'all not realizing, what y'all not looking at in the landscape of social media and all these things is social media stuff, along with who you tied to, what you claim and all that, is enough for them to put stuff together. All it takes is for one person around you to be doing something that you don't know that they're doing while you at Disneyland with your family, or y'all sitting in y'all $10, $20 million mansions, and then they tie this with that. Outrank you in your own gang. Come on, what are we talking about, y'all? What are we talking about? These is grown women. Grown-ass women. And the problem that I have with this thing overall is that it's young women that look up to them that tomorrow is going to go to school or today is going to be in school talking like this based on how much they like their records. See, that's the problem we talk about influence. Oh, could you let an artist raise your child? Man, listen, we've been children and we was influenced by all types of bullshit. Let's not sit here and act like we all are born emotionally intelligent, or just because you tell your child not to do certain things that they're going to listen. People who have the most obedient children, the children that grew up with the silver spoons in their mouth, still do what they want to do. People in the hood who kids might not have everything, you know what I'm saying? Their kids, excuse me, I'm stuttering and shit. They kids that listen to them, you know what I'm saying, eventually might do something based on their favorite artist. It's not exclusive to that. So it says, do something. We in New York, heavy on it. Culture vulture, you ugly too. Of course, a lot of the tweets that I read from Cardi was in response to those tweets. I'm just going to say this to close this out. This is extremely irresponsible from two grown-ass women who are rich. Keep in mind, rich. Does rich mean that excludes you from the bullshit? No, it doesn't. But they are not just becoming rich. Nicki been rich for a long time. Cardi's been rich for a fairly long time as well. They've been blessed in their lives to accomplish shit that they've dreamed of, that they wished for, that they prayed for, that they put work in for. Whether anybody has any comments about how they rose to stardom or fame, they've gotten there. And the examples that's being set is to always be petty. This is I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.